These are our medical compartments on this side, and it's got all the exact same equipment that one of our engines would typically have, if not even a little bit more, because oftentimes we'll have multiple patients in one incident. Of a boat fire, we would approach the boat, of course, from the upwind side, so we're not breathing the smoke. When we're on the boat, we don't have our general breathing apparatus that you see us wearing like a house fire. We would approach the boat. We have essentially a grappling hook here. This is hooked to our boat. We would throw it into the boat that's on fire and put this in reverse. And what that does is it keeps the boat at a set distance from us, and also prevents it, if we were hitting it with 500 gallons per minute of water,
keeps it from going away.
The boat would be getting pushed one way, we'd be getting pushed the other. So by hooking the boat and keeping us in reverse, it keeps it straight in front of us, and it makes it easier to control and put more consistent water and foam on.
Cool.
And we'll show you once we get these pumps going. It's very powerful. Even just turning these will turn this whole boat around.
Oh wow!
Like that. Yeah. So it's a real coordinated effort between the driver and the guy actually working the nozzle. If we need to turn or something, the guy up front can actually help. And also, the driver needs to know what he's going to do, and vice versa. We can respond. We get pretty good range. If there's a brush fire along the shore side, we could get both pumps going and spraying in a coordinated event, and sit there and just work back and forth, keeping water on the shore the whole time.
Cool. Lots of cool stuff I didn't know.
Real quick, I'll show you the front door here. So again, like I was saying, if we had a patient in the water, we'd send 2 people in with the patient with the backboard. If they had a possible spine injury, we'd float the backboard up under them. So we're now essentially laying on a backboard in the water. And with 2 people up here, you can slide the board up, keep them on the spine board. So when they make it up on the deck, they're already on the board and ready to be completely C-spine. And that just takes all the risk out of trying to pick someone up over the edge of the boat or something like that. So that's one advantage that the new boat has really given us over the old one. Okay. So the other advantage that gives us is when it comes time to transfer of care, which is we respond, we get the patients, and oftentimes if they're critical, we'll have a helicopter and of course some ambulances waiting at a launch ramp for us. With this ramp, we could actually pull right up to the launch ramp, lower this right onto the deck, and we could walk everyone right off the front, right onto the ambulance gurney, and send them on their way. So it's just made everything a lot quicker. Again, that's simply drafting water up from the lake and shooting it out the nozzle there. So we can do that all day long until we run out of fuel. I talked about, you saw the nozzle reaction and the reaction it had on the boat, making it real tough for the driver, and I talked about needing to communicate. We've actually got, for the guys that are going to be up front, wireless headsets, and we have wired headsets back there. So we're actually able to talk to each other and hear everything that's going on without trying to yell over that loud engine that you have. So yeah, typically our boat isn't on the water 24/7. It sits on the airlift that you saw there. In a typical boat response, if we were at the fire station right now and let's say a boat accident went out of a boat into the cliff somewhere, Engine 5 would get dispatched to the boat as long as they were available. The closest unit would, and we would respond to the boat. Now in the situation like today where we have only 3 people, we would actually also send a second unit. So more than likely it's going to end up being Engine 3 and Engine 5, assuming they're not tied up on other calls, are going to respond to the boat, and everyone's going to bring their medical equipment. The boat dumps in the water in about 30 seconds. It takes us from the time we pull up to dump it in the water and go. But we need additional manpower simply for the fact that we're going to have one guy driving. We should have one guy dedicated to being in command and in charge of the boat. And then we need people for medical treatment, people to assist loading and unloading of equipment. So you can tell, like right now, if we were to get a boat accident and there's a possible more than one victim even, we would sit here and wait for another engine to respond because we simply don't have the manpower right now. I described what it takes to get people out of the water safely while maintaining the stabilization of their spine. That can't be done with just me and him. It's 2 people in the water, and we would have only the guy driving, which wouldn't be able to assist us in getting them out. So typical response, like I said, takes us in general 3 to 5 minutes to get to the boat. It's another minute or 2 before we're actually leaving, and depending where on the lake the accident may be, the boat does about 35 miles an hour. So you can figure it out from then. If we're responding all the way down to Parker Dam, it might take a little bit for us to get there just based on the speed. While responding, our response is very systematic also. We'll come down, all the gates are locked, the keys are locked, everything's locked up. So one guy will come in, start unlocking and opening everything. Another guy will grab the keys, jump in the boat, turn the batteries on, turn the blower on, blow out any fumes that might be in there, turn all the radios on, get communication going. Another guy will dump the boat in the water, and we'll put on all our equipment on as we walk down, and we'll back out and start heading out while everything else gets set up on board.